Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the 7th edition Call of Cthulhu role-playing game rules by Chaosium. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. Strong language, mature scenes, and things that go bump in the night are ahead. All content, including names, places, events, companies, and etc., which may bear resemblance to cosmic entities from the great beyond, are strictly coincidental. My name is Michael Diamond, and for tonight's game, I will be your keeper. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Old Ways podcast. I am your keeper this evening, Keeper Michael. My pronouns are he, him, and we are back with our investigations in Arkham. We want to welcome you in and thank you for joining us. Special thank you to our Patreon supporters and to my cast, who we will go through introductions with now, which begin to my right.
Hi there, this is Mike, and I am playing Charles Thurgood, who has had a rather rude awakening when his sister has come home from an evening in the woods. Our pronouns are he, him.
Absolutely. Next to Charles.
Hi, this is Morgan, and I am playing Annie Mae Thurgood. Our pronouns are she, her, and I gave Charles a rude awakening when I came home all muddy, wet, and discombobulated because I had been accosted in the woods.
It's very true, very true. Next to Annie.
Hi, I'm Bunny. I'm playing Detective Beatrice Locke. Our pronouns are she, her, and we're hoping for two things: some answers to our many questions and some sleep tonight.
Sleep occasionally can be good for you, Detective. We'll see how much you get. And last, but most certainly not least.
Hi, this is Allie, and I am playing Catherine Chamberlain, and I'm dreaming.
Indeed you were. Dawn breaks on November 1st. It is officially now November in the Northeast, which can bring an awful lot of things, but one of what it does bring for sure is a temperature drop. That is evident this morning for those of you who are getting up and going about your day. It was a rather long night for Detective Locke, and while you did manage to get some sleep after that short drive into the countryside, the morning doesn't necessarily have any luxuries for you. You know that you'll need to be at the station house probably before 7 or 8 a.m. because you're fairly certain that your captain will want to speak with you about what happened last night. As Detective Stuckney's report, his initial one is probably already on the captain's desk. And so we'll start with you, Detective Locke.
This time, I will get back to work after a cup of coffee as dark as the sky was last night and a hearty breakfast. That should prepare me for the absolutely atrocious things that we'll have to talk about in the day ahead. But I will get to work and I will go straight to the captain's office rather than waiting to be summoned.
Probably a reasonable conclusion. You don't see Patty at the desk this morning. You see Mr. Winters. He's a sort of an older gentleman, real easy to talk to. He's a officer here who's been with the police department for probably 20, 25 years at this point. Retirement doesn't suit him, and so sometimes they put him on desk work because he can simply answer the phone and he can take shorthand, and he's reasonably good still at his job. He greets you as you come in. Good morning, Detective Locke.
Good morning, Captain. I'm sure you've already read about it, but we should probably talk about what happened last night.
Yes, I gave Stuckney the morning off. Why don't you come into my office?
I'll shut the door behind me and then sit down across the desk from him.
He takes what you believe is Stuckney's report out. Looks like a fairly grisly murder.
Yeah, it was quite the scene, but also I have reasons to be concerned that maybe this site was used for similar before, or used by the same people for something before.
What gives you that idea?
Well, the slab that was there, I want to check it out again in the daylight, if you don't mind. But the slab that was there, they didn't put there that night, but it had candles on the corners that had strange symbols carved into them that were on wax from many other candles before. There were probably months of candles there before, or at least months old candle wax from there before. But remnants of past use of this place with candles for some reason, whether it's this or other activities. But it's a place that has a stage for some form of activities to be done there, with the things that they used that night having been used there before, at least in terms of the candles. And that is bizarre to me if they just happened onto the place. I don't think they just happened there. I think that it's interesting that they were precisely cutting out pieces of this person, which also means this wasn't some prank that escalated into some act of passion or anger, or this is not the thing that happens when you become enraged at somebody and then take something too far. So them happening to go to a place where people seemingly have gone to for months with similar supplies just concerns me, sir. This also feels like it was done by somebody who, again, knows their way around an abdomen. They cut out length of intestines. They fully disemboweled this person. He was tied to boulders in like a very precise north-south orientation.
Is this a ritual killing?
I'm worried it is, and I'm worried that it's by people who, even if I'm not accusing them of being serial ritual killers yet or anything, but if they've been doing rituals up there before and it's escalating to ritual killing now, I'm worried if it's going to escalate even further again.
Detective, can I be as straightforward with you as possible?
Of course.
I don't know if Stuckney has the stomach for this. He came down after finding that body and called me, and I had a conversation with him. I'm concerned that, I don't know, I'm concerned maybe he's starting to show his age a little. I'd like to put you in charge of this investigation, if you think you're ready for it.
Thank you, sir. I think I'm ready for it. I think I can handle this. Even on the scene last night, if you didn't bring it up first, I would never have really considered this. It was a gruesome sight, more than anybody should stomach, really. But he did seem a little green around the gills last night and struggled to get close to looking at evidence with me because it was just too close to the gore. And I think I would be doing him a great service letting him handle other cases instead.
Very well. Now, I overlooked this list of things that they'd found. Coroner said that there was some rope.
Mm-hmm.
There was some sort of sheet. And then some sort of antique silver bowl.
Yeah, so there was a very elegant looking silver bowl that was under him on the slab. And then the candles, there were 4 of them set up. Again, they were put out rather than having just burned down all the way.
All right.
And they were on other candle wax from past use of this place. He was bound by the hands and feet and tied to nearby boulders. So there was rope. But the sheet, I'm so glad you mentioned that, because that actually is part of why I'm concerned about, maybe this is their first time killing a human before, but maybe they're not unfamiliar with dissection or with blood or with some form of rituals. The sheet that was there had like waves of old stains on it. There was fresh blood on it from last night, of course, but there was just stain after stain on this sheet. It was old. It was aged. Whoever's sheet that was, whether it's theirs or something that's been passed on to them for this, it's not new. It's not its first time being used for something disgusting.
Oh, very well.
It's also big enough you could wrap a person in. It was 12 by 4. That's enough fabric to do a lot with.
I want you to track down, experts.
Of course.
Perhaps someone can tell us about the bull. Perhaps there's perhaps they might even know about this sheet. I don't know, but see the medical examiner. And I've unfortunately already had the displeasure of speaking with the Arkham Gazette this morning. It is my understanding that somehow they've already found out about the incident and are now moving to press something into this afternoon's paper.
Vultures, the lot of them.
It's going to become very difficult. So if you need any assistance, get it before the afternoon's paper is involved, because once it hits the streets of Arkham, it'll be like a wildfire.
Absolutely. I will find somebody who deals with fineries or antiquities at least, and try to go from there. Oh, maybe the local bookstore would know anything about the symbols. I'll ask them and the library. I have a busy day ahead of me.
You do, Detective. Once the coroner can properly identify the body, it may lead to investigate others, I suppose.
I didn't use photography while I was up there. It was the middle of the night, but could we have one of our photographers go document that slab for me so I have one less stop outside of town?
Of course, I'll have it done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Detective. Godspeed.
She will show herself out of the office and make her way to her dear friend at the library, I think.
Okay, we'll put you on the way to the library. Now, Annie and Charles were planning on getting up today to go do something. I love that for them. And so, Charles, perhaps walk us through this Robinson Crusoe first edition that you're going to investigate.
Well, I think that the first thing that they were going to do was call their family doctor, Dr. Morris, to take a look at Annie Mae just to make sure she's not concussed. This is assuming she wakes up.
Buried the lead. Yes, Annie does wake up. And so Dr. Morris can certainly arrive around 9 a.m. unless you believe that it's an emergency, and then he suggests you might go to St. Mary's or something like that to get it looked at.
Well, I think, do we have Miriam in the morning to make our breakfast?
Yes.
That sort of thing.
Absolutely.
So I suppose, assuming Annie Mae comes down for breakfast with Charles, tucking into a healthy plate of eggs and bacon or something like that.
Yeah.
Good morning, Annie. How are you feeling this morning?
Much better, Charles. Much, much better.
Oh.
Andy comes trotting down the stairs, wearing a dark blue knitted sweater with a black cloche hat, black ankle-length skirt, thick cotton stockings, and knee-high boots.
Charles is wearing the same tweed jacket and slacks that he wears every single day of his life.
Now, if memory serves correctly, I dealt Annie hit point damage, yes?
You did?
Yeah. How much was it?
I took 3 hit points.
So you'd have been able to recover, we'll say, one of those over the course of the evening.
Okay.
So you are slightly better. That is probably because of the soup and brandy. An excellent mixture, by the way. And but you would have woken up with a headache for sure.
Oh yeah, it hurts. It hurts. I maybe would have popped some aspirin from the cabinet in the kitchen when I come downstairs and sit down at the table.
Would you like me to telephone the doctor and have him come and Dr. Morrison, have him come and check you over?
Oh, Charles, that would be wonderful. I feel like I had a night of where I drank too much brandy.
Oh, well, yes. Well, we've all had nights like that from time to time. Miriam, would you get Dr. Morris on the telephone, please? Thank you.
Right away, sir. Right away.
So, are you still in the mood for a trip to Newburyport?
Yes. I'm just hoping to find. There's a couple of occult books that I was looking for. Yeah, my paper is all coming together. Charles.
That's marvelous. Yes, well, I thought I might stop off at Rare Books and Maps on West High Street on the way up, just to speak to the proprietor there. Just a couple of other things to tie up, and then off to Newburyport before Mr. Wick gets his hears about it. We certainly don't want him jumping in ahead of us.
Oh, absolutely. You gotta have that Robinson Crusoe book. It was one of your favorites growing up.
It was, very much so. Defoe, a very great writer. But we'll see anyway. We'll see whether it has the provenance. I'm assuming it's quite often one goes on these trips and they do turn out to be wild goose chases. So I don't want you to get your hopes up too high, but with any luck, we'll find something that takes your fancy while we're there.
That sounds wonderful. I'm gonna get my mind off of this head bump.
Quite so.
You have breakfast, and a little while after breakfast, there's a buzz at the door, and Miriam lets you all know that the doctor is here.
Oh, splendid. See him in. Would you, Miriam, just see him into the parlor? We'll be along presently.
Of course.
Shall we, anyway?
Yes, dear brother.
In the parlor is your doctor.
I think I'll probably leave Anime to speak to the doctor on her own. She doesn't want me hovering about.
It's true.
Charles has, in truth, been rather concerned about her, when she got home in the wee small hours, soaking wet with an injury and this rather concerning tale of being shot at in the woods. He tries not to show it, but he's not particularly good at masking it.
Dr. Morris looks at you and says, "What seems to be the trouble? I heard something about a bump on the head."
Oh, yes, Dr. Morris. I was, I just kind of tripped last night and fell backwards on the stairs and just kind of bumped myself.
Let's have a look. So he, has you turn around and sort of takes a look at your head, parts your hair a little bit and tries to get a little close. Still certainly sensitive. I'll have him make a roll. That's exceptionally good, actually. He finishes the initial examination and then turns you around. Now, Miss Thorogood, I wonder, which staircase exactly here in the house did you fall down?
The back one. I was going out to the icebox, and it was raining last night and slippery on the stairs, and I was getting some ice for Charles's brandy. As you know, he loves ice in his brandy, and I am just that good of a sister to get that for him, because he needed to put his feet up after a long day of whatever Charles does.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, roll con, because you are knee deep at this point.
Digging myself a hole.
That's what you've done.
I have. Okay. And 82 over 55.
He sort of steadies you a little bit and says, "Annie, I'm your doctor. Just tell me what happened."
All right. I was out in Ordnum's Woods
What?
Doing what I do. I mean, I'm writing a new paper. Maybe you'll want to proofread it for me after I'm done. And there was this group of men out there. They accosted me. I got hit on the back of the head. Tied me to a tree. It was fine. I got away.
What?
They left. They were gonna hold me. They held a gun up to me, but then listen, it was really, really scary, and I don't really want to talk about it a lot.
Does your brother know about this?
Oh, yeah, Charles knows. Of course.
Did you not call the police?
For what? I don't know what these men look like.
You were tied to a tree and held at gunpoint.
Well, yeah, but we don't need to make this a big thing. I'll just get a talking to by the police about how I'm a woman and I shouldn't be out there alone, and Ordnum's Woods is dangerous, and
yes,
I already got a mouthful from Charles.
If I had a checklist, Miss Annie Mae, I would say the same thing. Ordnum's Woods is dangerous. You shouldn't be out there at night. Alone, as a woman. No, you shouldn't. There are criminals there. That's where they go.
But there's so much historical meaning there. I mean, there's like there could be ghosts.
There certainly could be. Let us hope you stay away from them from now on, lest you become one. Now, I think, given the size of the knot on your head, you should come to St. Mary's and have me take a look at it.
Do I have to? Can I say no?
You are a grown woman. You are able to make your own decisions, but as your doctor, it would be best if you had it examined under medical lights and with the proper tools. If your skull has been cracked or fractured, it is a serious, serious problem.
Well, I woke up this morning, so I mean, that's something. Fine, I'll come. If it will help you, Dr. Morris, and make you feel better, I will come to St. Mary's and get checked out.
It would make me feel much, much better. And I'm sure it will go ways to assuage whatever fears or concerns your Charles has as well.
Do you know, Doctor, are there any historical books on St. Mary's?
Oh.
Like, it's an older hospital.
It is. Certain that there would be probably some within the hospital itself that would keep records of.
Oh. Yeah, I'm writing this paper on paranormal activity in old towns. Yeah. And Arkham is known for having weird things happen, so.
Well, I'm certain that you'd get a chance to investigate St. Mary's if that's what you really want.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I need a library that I could look at while you're ensuring that I am okay. That would be fine.
We'll do the examination first, and then you can be free to set yourself upon the library with the earnest and dedicated nature we know you have.
I am what my brother calls persistent.
Yes. It's a trait many women are picking up now in the 20s.
She gives him a look. Like,
Dr. Morris is like 55. And so I would just say when the 20s have begun to roar now for, say, 5 or 6 years, a lot of the older sort of traditional thinking men do not take very kindly to it.
Okay, so I'm going to let Charles know that I'm going over to St. Mary's with Dr. Morris, and he can go do his book Providence, Robinson Crusoe adventure without me.
Oh, well, all right. How long do you think you'll be? Doctor, is this more serious than we thought?
I fear it may be, Charles. I fear she may have been injured to the point where we'll need to bandage her properly there at the hospital and make sure that there's no... my biggest concern is infection.
Oh, I see. I mean, do you think there might be some damage to her skull, or?
It is entirely possible, Charles. That's why I want to look at her in a little bit better of a light. The parlor is fine, but the lights at the hospital will be able to detect any of the difficulties.
Yes, and I would imagine you'll need those one of those what are they called, X-rays as well.
Yes.
Yes. Oh dear. I feel very foolish not bringing Annie. Feel very foolish bringing you not bringing you to the hospital immediately.
Yes, and I do believe, even if your sister does not necessarily agree, that there should be some consideration of filing a police report.
Well, yes, I did suggest this, but Annie May, well, it's her decision at the end of the day whether she wishes to file charges, and I respect that.
I have a conveyance outside, which will take us if you'd like to go.
Would you like me to accompany you to the hospital, Annie May, or?
Well, Charles, you already have plans for the day. I don't want you to change them on account of me and my little accident I had out in the woods.
I'll come along with you up to the bookshop. It's just round the corner from St. Mary's anyway.
Oh, I can go get checked out at the hospital and just meet you at the bookshop. I don't know, Doctor, how long do you think it'll take?
At least an hour.
Well, I can wait an hour, certainly.
Okay. Yeah, I'll meet you over there. I'm sure everything's fine, and Dr. Morris is just being extra cautious.
I am being extra cautious. It's in my nature. Now, we will leave the three of you heading to St. Mary's at that point. But as we do, we're going to look in on somebody else that's probably recovering from a bit of a head trauma herself. So, Catherine, having woken up, you miss your first class.
Oh, yeah, I expected that.
It's Tuesday. And as you do, you find that your body just does not want to actually work this morning. Everything feels like you're in molasses. You also feel a little sick to your stomach.
Yeah, that's not surprising, unfortunately. I did drink a lot.
You did. You did, in fact, drink a lot. So if you miss your first class, tell me what your next class would be.
The history of Mesopotamia.
Okay. History of Mesopotamia. You make this class. This is a 1030 class. It is being led by Professor Schumacher. And this is sort of a treat a little bit for you, Miss Chamberlain, because Professor Schumacher is a woman.
Ooh.
She has quite the interesting background from what you've been able to read into it. She is from South America. You're not necessarily sure where. She speaks 5 different languages and is well regarded by the faculty here at Miskatonic. She's also only in her mid-30s, so she's led quite a life. She's traveled all over the globe, including to the area of practice that she is teaching history on right now. She's also hard in the sense where she expects a lot out of students. She expects students to pay attention. She certainly expects students' papers to be written properly. And she marries this with a way of teaching that gets you engaged in the classwork. She also makes you want to feel like you want to work well for her. Because if she can become a professor at Miskatonic in Arkham, then maybe anybody can.
She's the type of woman to aspire to as a young woman who is getting educated in a field that is very, very, very heavily dominated by men, as most fields are right now. But most women are not historians.
That is very true. But she evidently is. During class, you catch sight of an empty seat, and you realize that it's strange because very, very few people ever miss this class. And the reason, as I've mentioned before, right? She's a teacher that people want to generally go to class and get their lecture and get their information from. But beyond that, there is someone missing from this class.
Is it the young lady that I saw at the party last night?
You think it might be. You think it might be that person you saw at the party last night.
Are the young lady who is not in that chair, do I know any friends of hers in class that I might be able to talk to after class is over?
You do. The girl that sits next to her you are familiar with. Her name is Anna Whalen, and there's this tiny, tiny little thing, probably no more than 5 feet tall and blonde hair and maybe 85 pounds soaking wet. But she's a whip-smart and intelligent student. And you can tell, too, that she's noticing that this, her normal sort of adjacent desk friend is gone.
Do I know the name of the gal who's missing?
You think her name was Constance? The class wraps up. It's now about lunchtime or so.
Well, I'll catch up to this Miss Anna Wayland to ask about who I think is probably named Constance. I'm like, Anna?
She looks up and she's collecting her books.
Where's Constance today?
She sort of looks down at the ground for a second. You see her face sort of falls. It wasn't a great night for Constance last night. She came back to the dorm in tears.
Well, I saw her at the party last night.
Yeah.
And I know that she went off with some young man, but I didn't see her again after that. Is she okay?
I think so. She went there to meet somebody, I think. But I guess when she got there, this boy or whoever this person was, I guess, had picked up another girl. Like they were supposed to go and meet together, and
that's not good riddance. I get that. I'm sure she's heartbroken, but she wouldn't want to be with someone like that anyway.
I mean, she's back at the dorm room if you want to talk to her. I'm sure she'd appreciate somebody looking in on her.
Yeah, and I'll look at, like, because I probably wear a watch just because there's probably not clocks literally everywhere in the halls and stuff that help me keep track of time. So, like, my next class probably doesn't start until like 2.
Sure.
I can skip lunch and go visit her at the dorms.
Okay. You skip lunch, head over to the dorms. The Miskatonic University in November is a little chilly. There's also rain intermittently throughout the morning here. But with umbrella in hand, you're able to get to the dorm.
I'll knock on the door.
As she comes to the door, Constance she looks tired. She's dressed a little casually for a school day. So you can't imagine she's been to class today. And she looks at you and, can I help you?
Hi, I don't know if you remember me. I'm Catherine Chamberlain. I'm in Miss Shoemaker's class, the history of Mesopotamia.
Yeah.
I saw you at the party last night and I noticed you weren't in class and I was just wondering if you were okay.
You can see like she gets a little emotional at the mention of the party last night. Yeah. It didn't work out. It wasn't a good time.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. I'd been waiting to meet Brian there and I didn't see him come in. He must have gotten in there earlier than me and we were supposed to meet and I saw him a little while later and he was with someone and it happens. It happens. I didn't want to stay afterwards, so I left.
Well, I saw that there was the guy that you were talking to.
Oh, yeah.
Was he pushy?
Oh, no, Theodore's fine. He needed my help.
Oh, okay. Well, I wanted to check in because, we got to look out for each other,
Yeah. I can't believe Brian would do that to me.
Well, pardon my language, but he's a jerk.
I agree. I never want to see him again.
Good. He doesn't deserve that attention.
Well, I'm going to get back to some of this homework to try to make up.
Yeah, of course. And if you need my notes from today's class, instead of Anna's or in addition to Anna's, I'm happy to give them to you too.
Thanks. I hate missing Miss Schumacher's class, but I just couldn't do it.
That's okay. You don't have to do it every day. Not everybody does. I miss class sometimes too.
Thanks for coming by.
Yeah. I'll see you on Thursday.
Yep. She calmly shuts the door. You still have time to potentially get lunch before heading to your afternoon classes. But while you're doing that, we are going to go check in on Detective Locke and discuss with her what potential moves she might be making to secure her information, or perhaps if she might go see if there are any autopsy results yet.
Detective Locke will have gone to check in on autopsy results before going to see Glenn at the library.
Okay. So you go to Dr. Sprague and inquire with him. Ephraim Sprague, quite a name. And he does have some results for you. You see him in his office. There's a sheet over the body that he's just been working on, it seems. And he says, 2 different blades were used here, Detective. The first is a double-edged blade, perhaps 5 or 6 inches long. It was used to puncture the abdomen and make a cut across the stomach. The viscera seems to have been moved from the abdomen, then cut from the body using some sort of heavy shears. He moves to the bottom of this sheet and shows the body's feet. Bruising here suggests that his both hands and feet have been bound for some time. I found a few bruises on his back. Might suggest that he was carried between a couple of people and probably dropped hard at least once. There's scratching around the abdomen here and on the chest. Post-mortem, I believe. Probably a large bird. They don't take very long in the Arkham Woods.
I see. That would also explain how a section of carefully cut intestine ended up in a tree. But what I saw around the blood in the tree were markings not of a bird. Are you sure there's no other animal or no other signs of damage, as if not by a bird or a knife or shears?
Not so far that I can tell, Detective, but that's not the largest concern I have. I spent some time testing the contents of his stomach. There's some trace food. There's quite a volume of wine in his stomach.
Oh, must have been partying before grabbed.
I did a small bit of testing as well on the wine, and it has atropine in it.
I see. Probably helped to get this big fella up on the hill to begin with.
What killed him ultimately was Nightshade. That and the sheer amount of blood lost from the abdomen.
Of course. I mean, he must have been truly out of it to be able to end up in that position.
Oh yes, I don't believe in any shape or form he would have been able to move on his own. The wine with the nightshade would have made him extremely lethargic. It would have made him pliable and easy to move. This mark here on his head is fairly clear that someone beat him at some point. That's probably your knockout blow.
Do you think the person who hit him in the head was about the same height as him, or significantly shorter, or?
I'd say probably the same height, or perhaps a little taller.
I'm sure that I would have noted it before, but how large of a man is this person? Like how tall, roughly, kind of what build is our victim?
I would say that he's of reasonably average height. So I'd probably say he's 5'10", maybe 5'11". He's probably 165 to 170 pounds.
All right. Interesting. So he drank an ample amount of wine, and she'll start pacing a little bit and making notes. So he drank an ample amount of wine somewhere that somebody could have laced with nightshade. And then...
Not could have, Detective, did.
Did. But I wonder if he was alone or if anybody else also was drinking that wine.
It's certainly for you to determine, but I can tell you that testing of that wine is what confirmed it for me.
Of course. So, sorry, let me fix that phrasing. He was somewhere where he could drink ample wine that had been poisoned, enough to make him nice and pliable, bound, carried to the top of the hill, perhaps dropped once or twice, hit over the head by somebody who's probably at least the same height as him, and then disemboweled with sections cut out with shears. This doesn't feel like something somebody just does on a whim.
No.
This feels ritualistic. This feels prepared and plotted and meticulous.
I believe that your term is premeditated.
Indeed.
Well, no, then I certainly hope that your investigation is swift and successful.
I have to ask you, though, Doctor, have you ever dealt with a murder like this one before?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. All right. Well, this gives me much to think about. Thank you so much. If you find anything else, please let me know. Do we have any form of... Do we have any thoughts on who this man was yet?
Oh, yes, of course. I should turn these over to you. He had a small bit of paper in his wallet. This probably helps.
Oh, absolutely.
He hands you the paperwork. Brian Overton.
Okay.
It looks like he's a student at Miskatonic, at least by the card there, library.
Of course. Has his family already been notified?
We are notifying his family now.
Fantastic. I will try to go visit them later this afternoon. I have been made aware that news is likely to break much faster, or news is going to break much faster than we would like it to.
Well, of course, St. Mary's will only say what is right and true, and which is we'll speak to the family, of course, and the authorities. There won't be any time for the Ark Gazette, I don't believe.
Thank you. Then I will take my leave and leave you to your wonderful work, Doctor.
Yes. Thank you, Detective. So, Detective Locke, as you're leaving the doctor's office and heading out of St. Mary's, you see a doctor you're familiar with. Dr. Mitchell Morris. He is a physician at St. Mary's in the area. The reason why you know him is because at one point in time, your father saw him. So there's a bit of a familial relationship that you key on. He's a friendly face, as far as you're aware, and he is helping to escort a pair of people into St. Mary's. And he seems to be keenly paying attention to a woman.
I think as we arrive at St. Mary's, I'll suggest that whilst anyway, why don't you go in with the doctor here and have your examination and so forth? I don't wish to intrude on that. I'll just pop across the road to the Orne there and spend some time going through some reference works that I'm sure I'll find something to pass my time there, and you can come and find me there. I won't go on up to the bookshop just now. It's a bit further away across the river and so forth.
Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll meet you across the street when I'm done. Dr. Morris said it'd only take an hour, hopefully less. But you know how these things can be. So
well, splendid. You're in good hands, I'm sure. Dr. Morris, you take good care of my sister now.
Of course, Charles. I'd be happy to. I've for many years taken care of the Thorogood family.
Ah, yes, of course. Well, I'll see you in an hour or so then.
Indeed. So, Detective, if you would you give me a History Arkham roll?
Absolutely.
And for you, Annie, the Dr. Morris is having you hold like a bandage on the back of your head.
That is a 15 under 30.
Okay, hard success. So as you're passing through this hall and seeing Dr. Morris have this exchange with these two people, one of the things that your keen senses pick up on is that the name Charles Thorogood has been dropped in this hallway. He is, I would say, somewhat notable antiquarian here in Arkham.
Wait, Mr. Thurgood?
Hello, yes. Can I help you?
A young police detective woman comes hurriedly over to you.
Is it apparent that you're a detective? Are you just plain clothes or?
Badge out, uniform on.
Oh yeah, right. Okay.
I'm fully kitted out.
Detective. How can I help you?
Not to be too cliche, but long coat as if she's preparing to someday be a character in the books that she likes to read. Mr. Thurgood, I actually wanted to consult you about an item for a case, and what a wonderful happenstance that I run into you here.
Well, indeed, so it seems, Detective.
There was a very elegant item that I felt might be something that you could at least lead me in the right direction on. And I just, wait, what? I'm sorry, you're at the hospital. I shouldn't be interrupting you here now. Could I get a business card or something?
No, you're quite all right. I'm here with my sister. She had a small accident last night. She's perfectly fine though. Nothing to worry about. She's just getting checked over by our doctor just to make sure everything's tickety boo. But yes, I have a little time. If I can be of assistance to Arkham's finest, of course, it would be my pleasure.
And your sister is in wonderful hands. Dr. Morris has been treating my family for years.
Oh, yeah, ours as well. Yes. Detective, I don't believe I caught your...
I'm Beatrice Locke. It's nice to meet you.
Beatrice Locke. Now, how do I know that name, Locke? Are you of the Kingsport Locks?
I only really know my father, not really his side of the family, so perhaps I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't wish to pry.
No, if any other Locke would be known to anyone whose family is so established in the area, my father was also former Detective Locke, but dear old dad hasn't been around for a few years. So.
Oh. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that, but how can I be of service?
Is there somewhere quiet that you wouldn't mind going with me?
Well,
do you mind leaving your sister here?
No, that's quite all right. I was on my way to the library. Doesn't get much quieter than that.
I also planned on hitting the library today. That's wonderful. May we go together?
Well, I wasn't going to hit it. I was going to sit in it and read a book. Oh, I see. You're speaking metaphorically. Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Yes. I'm sorry. I had a late night last night. I haven't had a good night's sleep, and my little gray cells probably aren't working at top speed at the moment.
I'm watching this exchange and I'm looking back and forth. Dr. Morris, should we move on? Let's move on.
Oh, Annie Mae, I do beg your pardon. I didn't realize you were still there. Yes, I'm just going with this Detective Locke to lend my assistance to the Arkham police force.
Cool. That is fantastic, Charles. Detective Locke, lovely to meet you. Charles is amazing. So you are in good hands.
Miss Thurgood, I'm sorry to hear you had a little bit of an accident last night. I hope your head heals nicely.
Oh, yeah, I'll be fine. A little bit of aspirin, a little bit of salve on the back of the head. Well, I'll be right as rain by tomorrow morning or even sooner. You guys go have a grand old time across the street or at the library or wherever it is you were going. And I'm going to go with Dr. Morris. So shall we, Doctor, before it gets even more awkward in here?
Annie, you and Dr. Morris shuffle into his office so that way he can properly first aid you and recoup some of your additional hit points, perhaps. But yes, Detective Locke and Charles are still outside.
Yes, let's head to the library together, if you don't mind.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I will follow him to the other library than where I was planning on hitting.
Oh, you're planning on going to a different library?
I will follow him to the library and find a good place to sit.
Yes, you'll realize pretty quickly that he's known in this this library. Say hello to the to whoever's on the front desk.
Certainly.
Is Miss Bonegrader is not on duty today, is she?
Oh, Tuesday's off, Charles. You know that.
Oh, that's good. Yes. Whew. She puts the fear of God in me, that woman. So, shall we be seated and you can tell me all about this case that you're working on that you require my assistance with? Is it a burglary of some kind, a theft?
I would usually be more discreet about this, I think. But I have been warned that the newspaper is going to run a story about it, whether we want them to or not, as soon as this afternoon. So I need to get my ducks in a row before the entire town knows anyway. So there was a...
Well, I can't help you with ducks, I'm afraid. Another metaphorical... I do beg your pardon. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes,
no,
carry on.
It's fine. There was a quite gruesome murder, unfortunately, last night.
Oh, good Lord.
And I think there might have been more to it than perhaps a normal murder. There was a bowl on the scene next to the victim that was a fairly elegant, ornate silver bowl under his torso. And that is actually the item I wanted to talk to you about.
Oh, under his torso. Oh my goodness me. That. Oh dear. Charles has kind of gone a little pale at the thought of this. Do you have this bowl? Is it at the station or in the what is it you call it? The evidence locker?
Yes, we have it in the evidence locker. I have a sketch of it here with the best detailing I could, but I can also show it to you if you're willing to come with me to physically look at it. So I must warn you, it is in quite a state.
Oh, goodness me. Yes, I'm sure I could come and take a look. Yes, would you like to do that now, or?
Yes. Why don't I drive and I'll happily return you over here when we're done, so that you don't miss your sister.
Yes, that sounds like an eminently sensible prospect. Yes.
I will lead Mr. Thurgood to my truck, and then on the drive to the station, hand him my notebook to look at anyway, with the drawing not just of the bowl, but the symbols from the candles, and ask if he's ever seen those before either on any of the items he's worked with.
Okay, so I can give a couple of rolls here, but the one we'll start with, based on what you're handing him, the roll I could potentially give you on the bowl will actually be a little bit more realistic when you physically have the bowl in hand, given what Charles does. But Charles can roll occult if he would like to, based on the symbols that you wrote out.
He would love to. I take it that it doesn't look like it's characters from a language. It's more symbolic.
These are definitely symbols rather than characters from language.
Okay. We'll make an occult roll. He doesn't have a great deal of occult knowledge, but he has a smattering. Well, I rolled 22 on a 20, so I'm going to spend 2 points of luck to make that a success.
There you go. So while some people, at least in the present day, would see these and know them almost instantaneously, in the mid-20s, they are not as well known. And so the 4 symbols that you recognize are Virgo, Sagittarius, Gemini, and Pisces.
Ah.
Oh, yes, these are astrological symbols. this is Virgo, the Virgin, and Sagittarius, the Centaur, and Gemini, the Twins, and Pisces, the Fish.
Oh, interesting.
Is it one symbol on each candle, or are all the symbols on all the candles?
It is one symbol on each candle.
So may I ask what this is in reference to? These symbols, are they on the bowl, or are they on what is it? I'm sorry, I'm finding it a little difficult to read your handwriting.
That's fine. The chicken scratch that I use to take notes as quick as possible, especially on a moonless night, can only do so much to serve people outside of my own brain. So you'll see them in the evidence locker. I will show them to you as well. But now that we're alone in the car anyway, I feel I can speak more freely. This man was bound and tied down on a slab. And there were 4 candles, and those were etched into the candles that were around him.
4 candles?
4 candles, one with each of those signs on it. And then the bowl under him.
The bowl under him?
He was cut open, and I believe it was to catch blood.
Oh Lord. Well,
she is white-knuckling the steering wheel to keep her professional composure, but she is trying to get through this.
Are you sure it's entirely... So, let me see if I understand this correctly. This man that you describe, I want to ask who it was. You seem to think, from what I can make out, the way you're explaining it to me, that he was involved in some sort of, the first phrase that springs to mind is ritual sacrifice.
That has crossed my mind.
Oh, good Lord. Can you tell me anything else about the circumstances under which you discovered this poor fellow?
I suppose it's going to be in the paper this afternoon anyway. He was found up on Robbins Hill, tied to boulders. The body was oriented north-south with these apparently star-related candles, so that feels like it might be relevant now. He was carried up there, bound before he'd gotten up there. He was disemboweled.
Oh, dear. Oh, my. Oh, goodness me.
I'm so sorry, sir. And people removed segments from inside of him.
Oh.
This happened probably after 1 a.m. last night. So, All Hallows Eve on a dark night.
Well, yes.
So, people do all sorts of things on Halloween. I'm trying to think of anything else that I could reasonably share with you.
Oh, I think you've shared more than enough.
I feel like that really covers what I need you to know about the state of that bowl and how those candles might be relevant. But I wouldn't have necessarily told you as much if I didn't feel like you might be one of the most apt people in town to ask about this object.
That's inordinately kind of you to flatter me in such a way. Well, I certainly hope that I can help you with this. Do I know anything about Robbins Hill in terms of its history, whether it's a place that has some sort of connection with black magic, witchcraft, that sort of thing? Any of the darker side of Arkham's history?
Robbins Hill is, in general, in the past, probably has a reputation for being a place where youths might misspend parts of their hours. It's known to be a place where perhaps boys and girls might meet that go to Miskatonic, and maybe they might spend time up there. I wouldn't say it's known for being a place of witchcraft or of black magic. If you were gonna to put a finger on a point and say this is where something like that might be, would be Hangman's Hill, or something like that, or people mucking about in the graveyard trying to do something silly. Or
well, I'm thinking more of historically in bygone years, whether there was anything around that area that was associated with anything like this. Whether I know of this slab that you're talking about, whether that's a kind of a landmark in that area.
I would give you an Arkham history roll for it. Sure.
What's my Arkham? I know very little of the history of Arkham. No, I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm not going to spend 50 points of luck, and I'm certainly not going to push something I've only got 8% in. Oh my god, no. So the candles were placed at the ordinal points. The bowl was used to collect the. Did you apprehend the people responsible for this?
Unfortunately, they had fled before we could get there.
Which would explain why they left behind the bowl and the candles, I suppose.
So they were scared off. I don't know if they had finished what they were doing. One of the farmers had heard a scream, and
well, I think I would scream too if somebody did that to me.
The victim was very out of it by the time this was happening.
Were they inebriated, drugged?
Both. So I doubt he was incredibly present for all of it, but a scream escaping him still makes sense either way. But a local farmer heard the scream, came out with his shotgun, took a shot, didn't hit anybody, but did startle the perpetrators away. Their footprints, though, disappeared at the street where there are tire tracks, so their vehicle was waiting for them and they escaped, unfortunately, before either of us, me and my fellow detective, could get there.
I see. Well, I'll leave that side of it to you. Certainly.
Unfortunately, though, I can't tell you or any other inquiring minds that I have anybody particularly in mind or apprehended for this yet, but I'm going to get them.
Well, it certainly seems to be a little more than youthful hijinks on Halloween. No, I think what you're dealing with here is people who are very, very serious-minded indeed. Oh my.
You can also see why one of my stops today would be looking through resources at a library if I couldn't find somebody knowledgeable about the items I found. There's quite a lot here that is over my head. The analyzing aspects of it to figure out my suspects, that part I'm good at, but rituals, bowls, and astronomical symbol, I am out of my depth on that field. So I appreciate your time.
You might want to speak to my sister as well. She has a little more in-depth knowledge on the more astrological side of these things. She's a parapsychologist, you understand. She deals with the more let me just how can I describe it? The more unusual side of human nature. I'm more interested in people's culture and history and belief systems and so forth. And you say that this fellow was tied to boulders?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, so stretched out in a spread-eagled fashion, that sort of thing?
Hands bound, feet bound. So more stretched, elongated rather than in a star.
I see. I'm just trying to work out. And on the slab. Well, let's take a look. Oh, there's the police station there. Let's take a look at this bowl, and we'll take it from there.
So we'll take the investigation really just slightly back towards St. Mary's Hospital. And you do get checked out by the doctor. He can confirm after x-ray that your head is not fractured, which is good. He makes a successful first aid roll, and you recover a hit point.
All right, I'm only down to -1 now. Thanks, Dr. Morris.
He gives you some medicine for it and instructs you to use care and caution when you go on your travels.
Oh, of course. Nothing but bed rest and soup today.
Good. That sounds like an excellent idea. Now, have you had your yearly checkup? Can we schedule that?
Can we schedule that? Sure.
You do some paperwork before you leave the office and get your medicine from, we'll leave you there at leaving the hospital or being ready to leave the hospital. Before we go, I want to check in on Catherine. What I'd love to know, Catherine, is how you're spending the balance of the day after you get done with classes.
Chances are I'm going to do some homework. I'm going to copy down my notes from Ms. Shoemaker's class. So that way, if Constance decides that she does want them, I don't have to hand over my whole notebook to her.
Sure.
And probably go and have dinner at my parents' house.
Okay. You can go and have dinner at your parents' house. Reasonable. It's interesting. The day for you sort of speeds along rapidly. You're through the next class and through the notes and prepared, and then suddenly it's late afternoon. And you keep getting drawn back in your head to this dream that you had last night. And you keep having this persistent feeling like there was something there. So there's something that you need to remember about it, but just can't. It's like a nagging memory that won't completely form in your head. As if a spindle of thread is tumbling down the stairs and you can't seem to catch back up to the entire loop.
Do I remember all of the dream, or is it pretty fuzzy?
No, it's actually very vivid in your mind. You remember leaping into the sky from a tall point somewhere around Arkham. You remember flying in circles and then eventually flying down into the city. And then along all of its major roads, you pass by church steeples and hospitals. You remember staring down at people who were hustling home or away during the wee hours of the night. You remember seeing things.
Do I remember where exactly I was when I woke up?
Oh, you remember being high on a hill somewhere nearby. There are hills around Arkham.
I'll actually probably look at a map, a topological one.
I mean, you have Arkham knowledge. You know where many of these hills are.
Yeah, but if there's one that strikes a fancy based on seeing certain buildings from the top, since I was looking at the top.
Certainly. So here's what I'll do. I would like you to make a power roll to see if you can remember in detail the dream, and provide based on the success or failure of that power roll, I will offer you a Arkham history roll.
I rolled a 56 under 80.
Okay. So go ahead and give me an Arkham history roll. I will give you this roll with advantage.
I rolled a 26 under 30.
Okay. So the impression that you get is that you're on Herber's Hill when you arrive in the dream. At least that's what it feels like.
Okay. It's already late afternoon, so I probably Like, the sun's probably already set with it being late afternoon, and I'm probably not going to want to go up there by myself at night.
Probably not.
But then where's the adventure in that? So I'm going to go to that hill after I have dinner with my parents.
Okay. We will leave you as you're heading to dinner with your parents with the intention of going to Herber's Hill after dinner. And I think for us, that's a perfect time to end. So thank you all so much for joining us for this episode as our investigations in Arkham continue. And we thank you and look forward as the investigation deepens. Thanks and good night.